The moment this story began, it did not look like much. A single post on social media, a small observation from a fan who had built a reputation for catching things long before anyone else did. But as the hours passed and fans started putting the pieces together, it became clear that something much bigger was unfolding beneath the surface. The drama surrounding Project Basketball, also known as Project B, took on a life of its own the moment people realized that the league had quietly begun following a handful of WNBA players on its official account. In a world where silence speaks louder than announcements, those few follows felt less like harmless clicks and more like signals of an impending shift that could completely reshape women's basketball. It started with Kelsey Mitchell, a name that carries weight every time discussions about elite scoring come up. She has carried Indiana through some of the toughest stretches in recent years, building a reputation as one of the most explosive guards in the league. When fans noticed her name appear under Project B's tiny list of accounts, she was suddenly surrounded by a wave of speculation. It seemed too deliberate to ignore. Project B does not follow many people. In fact, they only follow a very small and carefully curated handful. Every addition to that list holds meaning, and every new name sparks conversations that ripple across the basketball world. The inclusion of Kelsey Mitchell alone would have been enough to turn heads. But she was not the only one. Before long, fans discovered that Jonquel Jones, one of the most respected and decorated players in the WNBA, was also among the newly followed names. This was when the speculation turned into genuine concern. Jonquel is a former league MVP, a proven winner, and a cornerstone of any team lucky enough to have her. Her leadership, her consistency, her dominance in both ends of the court have cemented her as one of the most valuable players in the sport. For Project B to suddenly show interest in her was no small gesture. It implied intention, planning, and a level of ambition far beyond what people initially expected from a league that had barely begun to reveal itself publicly. Then came the surprise addition that captured the attention of fans across the globe. Kamilla Cardoso, one of the most exciting young players to enter the league, found herself at the center of the unfolding mystery. Her size, her potential, and her international appeal, especially her massive fan base in Brazil, made her a dream acquisition for any league trying to position itself as global from day one. Her inclusion painted a picture that felt too strategic to be dismissed as coincidence. Fans could not ignore the pattern. They saw an established veteran, a prime superstar, and a rising international sensation appearing together on Project B's radar. And with the league following only a small number of accounts in total, each name felt like a clue to a larger story that had not yet been told. Once fans dug deeper, the questions became even louder. Why these players specifically? Why all at once? Why follow players across different stages of their careers, from a rising rookie to a peak performer to an accomplished veteran? The lineup looked less like a random selection and more like a balanced roster. It looked like the early stages of a league preparing its core foundation, selecting the perfect blend of star power, experience, and global influence. Suddenly, the conversation expanded beyond the three names. It became a discussion about what Project B truly wanted, what they were building, and how aggressively they were willing to reshape the structure of women's basketball. Underneath all of this was the shadow of Project B's financial backing, a factor impossible for anyone to ignore. The league is supported by a Saudi-owned entertainment company, a detail that instantly sparked controversy the moment it became public. Fans wrestled with mixed emotions. Some were thrilled at the idea of players finally receiving the kind of money their talent deserves. Others voiced concerns about sportswashing and the political weight that comes with such funding. But the reality remained the same. Project B has access to resources that the WNBA simply cannot match. They can offer contracts that dwarf current salaries, they can push marketing on a global scale, and they can attract attention from fans who have never watched a WNBA game before. For years, players have traveled overseas just to earn livable incomes. Now, for the first time, there is a league offering everything in one place and offering it without requiring players to divide their time and bodies across continents. Meanwhile, another league found itself caught directly in the line of fire. Unrivaled, the player-driven project that generated early excitement suddenly looked vulnerable. It promised control, promised change, promised innovation. But promises are not the same as billion-dollar backing. As Project B's movement started to attract more attention, fans began predicting that Unrivaled could be overshadowed before it even launched. Without star power, the league's entire vision appears at risk. And if Project B successfully secures even a small list of high-profile names, Unrivaled may struggle to maintain the momentum it once hoped to build. Yet the biggest concern looms over the WNBA itself. The league has been fighting for growth for years, working to improve marketing, support, and visibility. It finally gained mainstream attention thanks to rising stars and captivating rivalries. But all of that progress could be jeopardized if a financially superior competitor begins pulling top players away. Losing talent like Jonquel or Kelsey would be a blow. Losing rising stars like Kamilla would be another. But the mere possibility of Project B targeting future global icons like Caitlin Clark is what truly shakes the foundation. She is not part of the current follow list, but fans immediately connected her name to the discussion. Her impact on the sport is undeniable. Any league with global ambitions would want her as their centerpiece, and fans know it. The more they thought about the possibility, the more anxious the conversation grew. In the end, this entire saga began with the smallest digital gesture. A few follows from a new league with a mysterious operation and a powerful wallet. Those clicks have now set off a chain reaction that the basketball world cannot look away from. Project B has not issued statements. Players have not confirmed anything. The WNBA has remained silent. But silence only fuels curiosity. What happens next may reshape contracts, rosters, league structures, and the future direction of women's basketball on a global scale. Fans can feel the tension building. They can sense that something is shifting. And everyone is waiting for the moment when the quiet hints give way to official announcements that will reveal just how far Project B is willing to go. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think these follows are harmless coincidences, subtle negotiations, or the beginning of a massive talent shift in women's basketball? What do you believe Project B is planning behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, join the conversation, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next story.